Hey Wastelanders! So, the spooky season is upon us, and I thought it would be fun to share some of my favorite frightening camp build locations. Of course, with the camp revamp update, the season makes it the perfect time to revisit a Halloween camp build, so let's get to it. So this first one is located just south of the Freak Show in the Savage Divide, and it's a cute little crop of pumpkins. As you can see, you're able to fit the entire area into your build radius and still have some build space below the cliff as well. I was excited when I found it during the last video I made about cool camp locations. And so there's pumpkin crops here, which is nice because you can't plant those at your own camp otherwise. There's also some mannequins farming and a scarecrow. And then there's actually a settler that is here farming as well. That's just always walking around. So that's kind of fun too. And yeah, so you have access to pumpkins, which is great. And I was thinking with this one, you could kind of do like a creepy farmhouse type build. You have a nice spot on the edge of the cliff, or you could even build something just right next to all of the crops. But either way, it's a really cool spot to do something fun for the season. And it has a great view as well. So a good spot to build. This next one is located to the northeast of Fisherman's Rest in the Mire. And there's this kind of creepy little setup happening, and you can fit it entirely in your camp radius and still have a fair amount of camp space left to put in your own decor or build as well. So this basically kind of has some weird stuff going on. First off, it is a rad stag spawn. You can kind of see when walking through the camp right now. So they actually usually spawn in a massive group, just kind of like right next to camp. So they're always there, and then there are two bodies that hang out here. There's this guy that has a butcher knife going through his leg, so kind of creepy. And then there's this lady that has an antler going through her. And then of course we have some other body parts just hanging out over here as well. So I kind of thought that this could lend itself to sort of like a restaurant gone wrong type of build. There's even like a cooking station too, and it has like the entire setup where you could build out making like some tables and places to eat. And just, you know, kind of make it like a really odd little restaurant in the wasteland. So I thought that that could be fun and sort of an obscure camp build here that totally fit with this kind of scary, spooky theme. This one is located west of RNG Station in the Savage Divide. And you can actually place your camp box down so that you can get two kind of rundown buildings in it, and then also still have this nice cliffside and some area down below. So a pretty decent build area to do some fun stuff with. And the buildings kind of lend itself to what I was kind of thinking of, like a haunted resort type vibe. And there's even another building if you'd rather have your camp box down at that building, you can place it over there. And then there's stuff on the interior as well that kind of lend itself to like an abandoned weird resort. And you can also, of course, build in it, which is nice, and it saves on your budget. And with the free placement, I know I'm not in free placement right now, but in free placement, it lets you kind of do a lot with these buildings that are already here and make some kind of creepy vibes going on. And of course, you have a really cool view too. So it's a really neat spot. I think you could definitely do an awesome haunted resort here and make some unique builds. The next location is located in the mire south of Abby's bunker. And so you're able to place your camp box down so that you have the truck and trailer central to your camp, but then you still have a decent amount of space on either side to kind of create whatever type of camp you want, which is nice. And it's a flat area, so less restricted that way too. But anyways, this is kind of a unique spot, and I was excited when I found it. And so my first thought when I saw it was actually a Jurassic Park build, because you could kind of have the T-Rex eating the truck and trailer as you see here. So I thought that could be fun, and you could build like kind of like a creepy, rundown dinosaur type park. And I think that you could do some really fun stuff with it. There is a Wendigo that spawns in that tree each time, so be mindful of that. But otherwise, this is a pretty fun location that you could do a lot of interesting things with for sure. This next one literally sits basically on top of Hopewell Cape, so pretty easy to find. And I know that many of us might know about it already, but I wanted to share it just in case you don't. As you can see, you can have your camp box basically cover the entire cemetery. So yeah, you have a full-on cemetery that you can kind of just do whatever with, which is obviously perfect for a Halloween theme build, and you can do some really fun stuff with it. I was kind of thinking when I initially saw it, you could do kind of like a haunted caretaker type build, something kind of fun like the groundskeeper. And there's a lot of awesome decor and detail here already, making it so that you can really put your own touch on it, but save a lot on budget too. So yeah, this one really is perfect for a Halloween camp build, and I'd be excited to see some interesting builds here. This one is located south of Hornwright Testing Site number 2 in the ash heap. And you can place your camp box down so that you can get a lot of cool things in this area to fit into your camp. So that was one reason that I really liked it. And yeah, so I was super excited when I found this because there's a lot of cool stuff around. You have these skeletons hanging out on this rock, and you also have some other little skeleton heads in that basket behind them. And if you head up top, there's even a cultist shrine up there. And there is a cap stash and a chem spawn here too, which is kind of cool. And of course, there's that pond that sits just right in the middle of all of this too, that you can do some pretty cool things with, I think. And there's skeletons floating in it also, so it's like literally the perfect area to make just an awesome Halloween build. Also, you can in fact fish in the pond. I did test that, so you're all good there. But yeah, overall, it's a really cool spot that you can do a lot of fun things with, and I think because of the way that the land is laid out as well, you could really build into it and do something fun here. All right, so this one is located just west of the trading post in the Skyline Valley. And of course, the Skyline Valley itself is kind of perfect for Halloween. It has those vibes already. And you can place your camp box down in this kind of wherever. It's a pretty flat area, which is nice to build. But the main reason that we're here that I found that I thought was really cool is that it actually is the site of these graves. So you have a couple of graves there, and then you even have a coffin with a skeleton hanging out in it. So I thought that was kind of interesting when I first saw it, and I hadn't run across it before. There's also a scavenger and dog that are here too, and sometimes they'll even be going through the coffin, so they add kind of a unique part to your camp as well. But yeah, so I was kind of thinking you could do sort of like a mystery or like whodunit type camp build here, which would be really fun. And in general, there's just a lot of possibilities because you have the perfect aesthetic for something spooky along with the gravesites, and then of course the scavenger and the dog. So yeah, a lot of interesting things you could do with this one for sure. Okay, so now if we run just a little bit east of where we are right now, there's actually kind of a bonus area that you could do your camp instead. That is also pretty weird, and you could definitely do some fun stuff with. I was kind of surprised when I ran across it. And so yeah, it's not too far from the camp that we were just at. And so yeah, we're coming up on it right now, and I'm hiding because you'll see that there is an enemy here. And the enemy is actually a cannibal. And that kind of tells the story of the camp too. So he always spawns here. I think basically anytime you fast travel here. He's been here every time I've been here. And then there are these 2 dead hikers that are here, and then as well as this bloody shopping cart. So another good spot where you could tell kind of a weird story and do something fun for your camp. This one, we are back in the mire next to Harper's Ferry Tunnel, and it's kind of a cool one too. So I figured you'd set your camp box probably somewhere up on the peak of this cliff. That way you have a nice viewpoint. And my first thought was to do sort of like a rickety haunted house type build here. So there are these skeletons that are already here, and I thought that they would kind of be like the caretakers of the haunted house. And in addition to them being here, you also actually have their little pet dog who hangs out as well. So they kind of already tell a unique story. And then with how the cliff is laid out too, I just thought having a haunted house up here would be perfect. Another good camp to do something spooky with. You have a lot of freedom with this one. You have kind of these skeletons here, but then you have this massive cliff ledge that you could do something really cool with. So yeah, this would definitely be a fun build spot to do some sort of haunted town or haunted house for sure. This next spot sits to the northeast of Old Mold Quarry in the Cranberry Bog, and you can place your camp box basically wherever, so you can have this cool bridge in it, or you can even move it a little bit more to one side of it if you want more space more to the side of the bridge rather than having the bridge central. But in general, I really like this area of the Cranberry Bog because of all of the fog, and you can do a cool Halloween build here. And one thing I thought was fun is that you can actually place the lights in the water below so that they shine up through the fog, which definitely lends itself to a fun Halloween build too. And I thought that using the bridge as like a unique entrance to some sort of like spooky house could be fun, or you could do like really a lot of other things because like I was saying, it's flat, you have a lot of space to do something unique with. And you can kind of see there's another bridge off in the distance too, so you could even place your camp box kind of in between the two bridges and then have both bridges lead to your spooky type house as an entrance, which could also be a fun build idea. This one sits to the northwest of Denton Sons Construction in the Savage Divide, and it's a cool one because it already has a rundown house here as well as built-in Halloween decor. And since you can place your camp box down literally in the middle of it all, you have a lot of space to work with to make it your own. So yeah, it's kind of like the perfect farmhouse Halloween setup. So you can decorate the outside to make it more festive. There's a lot that you can do out there. But you can also decorate the inside now that there is free placement. And there's a few different floors, but overall, you could definitely make a pretty spooky house. You know, you could do another haunted house type theme or something else and not waste too much of your budget since there is so much that's already in place, which is really nice. So I wanted to share this one, even though I know some of us have probably run across it before. There are some people I'm sure that haven't discovered it yet, and I thought it was super cool when I first found it, and it's literally perfect to do some sort of fun themed Halloween camp build here. As a bonus, you can actually even just run up the road if you don't want to have your build at that house. And there are two other houses where you can place your camp box down. So this one is having a pumpkin sale, of course. And then right behind it, there is an area where there are pumpkins growing, which again is nice because you can't plant them at your own camp. And you can do something fun with that, make a cute little pumpkin patch or something. Or you can come over to this other house, and they kind of have like a corn maze type theme going on is what I thought when I first saw it. So yeah, also good build options that you can do something fun with. This one is located to the south of Crater in the Toxic Valley. And it's really cool because you have this wide open space, but you also have this creepy kind of shack that you could do something fun with. And it's nice that it's close to a free fast travel point, but you can still place your camp box relatively close to it. So the inside is already decorated kind of cool, but of course, again, it's really easy to add your own touch to it with the free placement, which is nice. And you can do some really creepy decor inside. And in general, it just already has such a great aesthetic that lends itself to doing something kind of run down for a Halloween type build. And there's also a spawn point here for power armor typically, so you can do something silly like this, like I put a pumpkin on it. So that's kind of fun too. But yeah, there's so much you could do here. It comes with a workbench and a cooking station already, which is really nice. Again, saving on budget. And there's also actually even a cap stash that is on the roof, so that's kind of funny too. But in general, it's nice because you have this cool shack that's already here that you could decorate around, make it more festive, making it your own spooky hangout spot. And finally, I of course had to include a build next to the Alpine River cabins located in the forest. And you can place your camp box actually pretty close to it, even though it's a spawn point. This was one of the areas where I was able to get fairly close to it. And I like this spot because I thought it was perfect to do a haunted forest build with the fallen log and kind of the spooky pond behind it. And of course, you can fish here, so that is a bonus. But yeah, in general, I liked this spot because you can actually hear the screaming that is coming from the Alpine cabins. So it's literally the perfect area to do some sort of weird haunted build, and all of the trees around lend itself to that as well. And it's a really pretty area that you could do a lot with. So I was excited that it let you build so close to the cabins that you could do something like that. And I did find another area near here that I thought could make for a fun build. So if you run just up the hill from where we were just at for that camp, there is actually a tree house right here that you could do something fun with. And you can still hear the screaming from the alpine cabins, and you can even build inside the tree house, so another cool spot. I hope you enjoyed these spooky camp locations and got some fun ideas for your own creepy camp. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments your favorite build location to set up a frightful camp. Also, don't forget to join my Discord and channel, and check out my socials below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the wasteland. This one is located south of Hornwright Testing Station, site number 2. Testing station. It's not doomed.